Hi Craig, thanks for being here with us. Can you tell us why you became a ranger? You're now a head ranger at Fort Caroline.
I became a ranger here 25 years ago. Unlike a lot of rangers who work at different parks throughout their career, I fell in love with this one. I'm a native of Jacksonville, and I got lucky in my senior year of college to become a student ranger, and then a few years after that became permanent out here, and just a lot of rangers feel that way. They fall in love with a certain place and they want to stay there, and they want to that's how they pick their careers. I mean, if you're a marine biologist, you're certainly not going to apply for a job at Gettysburg National Historic Park, but if you are a person who likes wildlife, certainly some of the larger parks, Alaska, Yosemite out west, or even in the Smoky Mountains. The diversity of the parks are amazing, and that's how people choose. They find some place that they feel they have passion for, because that's what it takes to do this job. Is you're constantly interacting with people. If you are shy and don't like to be around people, you can work in the parks, but not as an educator ranger. I do education. That's my primary job, is education, whether it's doing talks or writing, creating exhibits, or writing articles, those type of things. But for the shy, facility maintenance, keeping these grounds so beautiful, becoming a historic, excuse me, it's on the tip of my tongue, becoming a historic exhibit specialist, like up at our Kingsley Plantation unit, making sure that those amazing slave cabin remains that we have are kept intact and not degraded by the weather, and keeping structures in good shape. Some of the older original things, like at the Jamestown or the Liberty Bell, somebody has to learn how to keep the Liberty Bell shiny and intact. Other careers in the park, administration. We have to have computer specialists to keep our networks going. So it's not just the job I do, and I couldn't do my job without the support of the rest of the other divisions. We also have careers in law enforcement, and that's a completely different job. I'm trained to shake hands. The law enforcement ranger is trained to observe. So it's a very diverse thing. Is it a job that's going to make you a millionaire? No way, no how. Is it a job that gives a lot of pleasure? Most of the time, you are serving your country. I'm a federal government employee. No, I'm not out on the front lines like a soldier, but it's my job to protect this park and its resources for future generations.
So what are the qualifications to be a ranger?
Well, once again, it depends on what job you're going to do. Usually, to be an educator like me, a minimum of a college degree, but I know many people who have high school degrees that are lead rangers. If you're going to be in law enforcement, certainly you're going to have a criminology background. If you're going to be in administration, you're going to have to know the business side of the park, all the things that are done to get everybody paid, all the things that you need to do to apply for grants so that we can get money to keep up the park, build new exhibits. There's engineers. Parks need engineers.
Well, how difficult is it to get a job as a ranger?
Well, at present day, it's not impossible, but there is a limited amount of jobs being offered. The best way to find jobs in the National Park Service or in the government period is to go to usajobs.com, and that will show you all the different jobs that are being offered government-wide. And what you would do is you would narrow it down into the Department of Interior and then to the National Park Service in the case of becoming a national park employee. But there's other agencies very similar. There's the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that operates our fantastic fish and wildlife parks. There's the Forestry Service, that's the Department of Agriculture, and they're in charge of maintaining our great national forest across the country.